Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The Taliban will not extend the 31st of August deadline for the current evacuation mission, that's according to a spokesman.
This is something you can say it's a red line.
It's after rumours that several countries, including the UK, were expected to urge President Biden to delay the withdrawal of US forces beyond that date at Tuesday's G7 talks. An Afghan security guard and 3 more people were injured in a gun battle that also involved German and United States forces. US soldiers have set up over 70 military tents at Germany's Ramstein airbase as they prepare to shelter up to 10,000 evacuees from Afghanistan. Meanwhile, Turkish forces have begun enforcing security measures along its border with Iran to prevent an influx of Afghan immigrants. At least 22 people have been killed as rescue crews are searching shattered homes and tangled debris for dozens of people still missing after heavy flooding hit parts of Tennessee. The flooding uprooted massive trees, tore through homes and tossed cars and pickup trucks into ditches and atop sheds. Many of the missing live in neighbourhoods where the water rose fastest, as up to 17 inches of rain fell in less than 24 hours. Meanwhile, hundreds of far-left and far-right demonstrators have clashed in Portland, firing paintballs, spraying chemicals and destroying property. Police haven't reported any deaths or injuries, but footage from the 2 areas where the demonstrations have occurred showed gunshots being fired and protesters breaking windows of parked vehicles and flipping over an ambulance. The clashes came on the anniversary of similar competing protests a year ago after the murder of George Floyd. Vietnam has deployed soldiers to the streets of Ho Chi Minh City to help enforce a strict lockdown in the country's biggest urban area. The city is currently the epicenter of Vietnam's worst coronavirus outbreak to date. The country implemented movement restrictions in Ho Chi Minh City in early July, but announced its harshest curbs yet last week, as infections have continued to surge. The government is now prohibiting people from leaving their homes, even for food, and said the military would step in to help. Jailed former Bolivian president is in a stable condition after she tried to take her own life in prison. Jeanine Áñez tried to harm herself after prosecutors charged her with genocide over the deaths of protesters in 2019. Áñez's daughter said her mother made an attempt on her own life due to severe depression because of her prolonged imprisonment. The former president was detained earlier this year over accusations that she participated in a coup to depose longtime former president Evo Morales in 2019. The International Army Games 2021 have begun in northwest China, where 42 countries will be competing in 12 hosting nations, including China, Russia and Iran. This year's Games will see a total of 34 events, including 3 contests involving infantry fighting vehicles, man-portable anti-aircraft missiles, and nuclear, biological and chemical reconnaissance. The Army Games are also known for a unique race called Tank Biathlon, where crews are judged on speed and shooting accuracy. A joint force of Mozambican and Rwandan troops have rescued more than 100 people who had been taken hostage by militants in northern Mozambique. The hostages had been held by Islamic State-linked militants. The state broadcaster said that those rescued were mostly children, women and the elderly. The operation was in the dense forest of the administrative post of Mbao, which sheltered one of the key bases of the jihadists. And finally, a World War II bunker in northern France has been given an unlikely new lease of life as a bed and breakfast, welcoming visitors after remaining buried for years. A bunker enthusiast bought up a plot of land in the area and spent 18 months digging out and renovating the 400 square metre bunker, turning it into a fully functional rental, complete with a bar area and cosy living room. The site, now in a residential area and surrounded by houses and gardens close to the coast, was once operated by 30 men in the German Air Force or Luftwaffe. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.